it's Melanie, and today I'm going to be showing you my summer foundation routine. Now, this particular routine is specifically for people who have very oily, extremely oily skin, or like very combination skin. You do have to be careful where you apply my secret weapon on your face if you do have combination skin, because it can dry out any already dry patches on your face. So you only apply the product that I'm going to be showing you to the areas where you have the most oil production, that you feel like needs like a super heavy duty like oil absorbing primer. So there's that. Before I get into the tutorial, which will hopefully be quick, I do want to say that if you haven't watched my Friday favorites from this last week, I'm going to link it down below. I have a little bit more of an in-depth description on why my videos are a little bit fewer and far between right now. But most importantly, I just wanted to let you know that if you leave a comment down below and it's a question, I will try to get back to it as soon as possible. But because of my work schedule during this time of the year, it's not going to be possible for me to reply to everybody who just leaves a comment. So if you have a question, I'll try to get back to it. If not, just thank you for watching. If you liked it, thumbs up. That would be fantastic. Okay, so to get started, this morning, about an hour ago, I took my shower and I put my moisturizer on my face. I'm having some severe dry patches, so I guess my skin is more combination right now. I believe that it's probably eczema on the corners of my mouth here, and that I think has something to do with the fact that, so I'm a florist. I do flowers for weddings, and so the chemicals that I work with, a lot of times I don't think to wash my hands before I touch my face or something like that. You know, I'll be working and I'll have like an itch on my chin and I don't wash my hands before I go to scratch it. So I'm getting those chemicals on my face. That's not a good thing, and I think that it's irritating the eczema patches that I have on the corners of my mouth. So I paid extra attention to put some argan oil there this morning, as well as my regular Oil of Olay moisturizer. I put that all over my skin, and I wanted to really let that sink in. Put my bangs up, and I'm going to tuck my hair back here. This is not the most attractive hairdo, but keeps the hair out of my face. I'm going to use a brush to apply this. This is just a Sigma Angle Top Kabuki. You don't have to use a brush. Let me tell you what you're going to be applying. It's Milk of Magnesia. This sounds crazy. I used to talk about this all the time because I used it on a daily basis year-round because I hadn't discovered the Miracle Skin Transformer yet. I can get away with just the Miracle Skin Transformer by Sarah McNamara most of the year, so definitely fall, winter, and then early spring, but once it starts to get hot, this just isn't enough to help with mattifying my skin. So I call in the big guns during the summer because I need my makeup to stay put all day long. So this is just regular Philips Milk of Magnesia. You don't want to get the flavored kind. If it says cherry or mint, put it back. Get the original. So no flavoring. You always want to shake this up really well before you use it. And I first learned about this on Makeup Alley years and years ago. And at first I thought, oh my god, there's no way this is going to work. But I tried it for the first time, and it is like magic for crazy oily skin. Do not get this on any dry patches on your face, because it's going to dry them out further. I'm just warning you. So I will normally just take a little bit into the palm of my hand. Then I take my brush, just dip it in there. And then I basically just proceed to spread it on the oiliest areas of my face. Again, being careful to avoid the dry patches on the corner of my mouth. Your dry patches may be somewhere else on your face. So I just put a very thin layer of that anywhere where my oil is crazy. So my forehead, my temples, my cheeks. I avoid the eye area. And you're just looking to get a nice even coat of this onto your face. Once it dries, you may notice a little bit of a white cast, and I'll show you what to do with that. It just means you got maybe a little bit too much on there. I'm just going to get a little tiny bit in the very center of my chin, which is crazy oily, but not dry. This, crazy dry. Avoiding it. My nose gets pretty oily too, so right here. Okay. So once you know that you have a nice even coat of that on there, you want to make sure you wash your brush right after you do this because it will get hard and kind of crusty. So make sure that you do that. You let that dry. And you can see that that already mattified my face quite a bit. So I'm just going to continue to let that dry for a little bit. And I'm not sure if you can tell, but there is just a tiny bit of like a white cast. So what you do is just kind of rub your skin a little bit and just kind of get rid of a little bit of that whiteness. Now you can absolutely, if you put way too much on, you can use like a makeup setting spray, like the vitamin infused complexion spray from Urban Decay. You can do a light spritz of that and then go over and sort of use that to help dissipate a little bit of that whiteness, a tiny bit more, but I didn't put too much on. So it's usually just doing a little bit of rubbing and then it's good to go. Okay. I still use the Sarah McNamara Miracle Skin Transformer because this helps with some additional mattification, and it also has the hydration benefits. It also has the SPF, which is obviously super important if you are going to be outside at all year round, especially in the summer. So I'm just going to take my usual amount, which is like the size of a pea. A little bit on my forehead, my cheeks, my nose. And then I just apply that like normal. The Miracle Skin Transformer is very much just like a BB cream. And it does have SPF 20 in it, which is nice. And I get that all over my face. Down onto my neck. I use another SPF on my body, so I bring that onto like most of my neck when I apply that. Ooh, there's that dryness. Don't put chemicals on your face. It's not a good idea, especially quick dip or floral food. It's very irritating. Okay, so you want to let that dry for a minute. Now, while I do that, I'll just kind of tell you the different foundation options that I choose. I don't use liquid foundation. It doesn't work for me. It looks cakey, it looks heavy. Because of my oily skin, it just tends to slide off. I have tried a lot of liquid foundations. The one that seemed to work the best was the Hourglass Immaculate Foundation, but Hourglass is very expensive. So that was not going to be a part of my daily routine. I have used either the Laura Geller Balance and Brighten or the Everyday Minerals base in the semi-matte formula for years and years. They work well year-round. They work very well with the Miracle Skin Transformer, and they also work well with the Milk of Magnesia. Now, if you don't have like a BB cream or something to use over top of your Milk of Magnesia, you can just skip that step. You don't have to do this. I just love this product so much, and the SPF in it is obviously important for me for what I do. So today I'm going to go ahead and show you guys with the Everyday Minerals base, and I'm just going to do a pretty light application. So I'm just using a fluffy brush. This is one from Sigma. I don't particularly care for this one, but all of my other brushes are kind of dirty, so This looks like the cleanest. I get a little behind with brush cleaning during the summer months, which is not good. So I take a little bit of the foundation powder. This is, by the way, that my color is Winged Butter. And again, I use the semi-matte formula. They do have a matte formula as well, and I have used that. But the older I get, the more I find that I like a tiny bit of luminosity with my mineral foundation. So I just buff that onto my skin. Again, I'm just doing a really kind of light layer today. But you can build mineral foundation up in areas where you need a little bit more coverage. The mineral foundation helps to absorb the extra oil, and it also provides just an additional amount of SPF. Now, just because you're like layering like an SPF 20 and like an SPF 15 doesn't mean it's going to equal a 35. It's good to layer your SPFs. I find that it helps that I don't have to reapply it quite as often during the day. But like if the SPF doesn't like add up, if that makes sense. Ooh, I think I'm almost out of this. This is a great time to run out. Figures. Hang on, I have to try to open this container. And it doesn't want to. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna finish with the Balance and Brighten. I do have an eye primer on my eyes as well. This color from the Balance and Brighten is slightly more beigey, so I want to go ahead and just do a light layer over everything that I just did. Always bring your foundation down onto your neck. Now I'm just going to take a smaller contour brush and get the area underneath my eyes. I do take my powder foundation all the way up underneath my eyes. Doesn't bother me. I moisturize my eyes really well, my entire eye area, so it never looks dry or cakey under there. But if you have really dry skin under your eyes, I don't know. I'd probably use a cream concealer instead and just set that. Okay, that's the foundation routine. I'm going to go ahead and now finish the rest of my makeup and then come back and just try to talk just a tiny bit more about this, just to give you a few more details about it. So I'm going to finish my makeup. I'll see you guys in just a minute. Hey guys, so I finished the rest of my makeup and I just went for a pretty neutral look because I do have a client walkthrough at a venue today. So, you can see that it doesn't look like I am wearing Milk of Magnesia on my face. Once you put your makeup over top of the Milk of Magnesia, it essentially like just adheres to it and it stays put all day long. My oil does not break through. For whatever reason, this is an amazing barrier between my oily skin and my makeup, and it helps it stay put all day long. Usually my work days, when I am playing the role of day of coordinator, my days are 16 hours long. So I need my makeup to stay put from the time that I put it on at like 6 in the morning until like I get home at like midnight, 1, 2 in the morning, depending on how long the wedding day is. I don't have time to go to the bathroom and sit there and like blot my face and reapply my blush. There just isn't time for that. I barely have time to pee. So I really do need my makeup to look decent because I am in front of a lot of people. I can't be looking like a hot mess, and I am a hot mess when I don't have a good primer on my face because the makeup literally slides off my face. In terms of application, you saw me use a brush. You can use your fingers. You can use a makeup sponge. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, wet the makeup sponge first. This just, I find, gives me the most control, especially when I'm trying to avoid the trouble areas on my face, like the dry spots that I have on the corners of my mouth. So I prefer to use a brush. Like I said, use your hands, use a sponge, however you can get it on your face. I find that this gives the lightest application, and that's really what you want, is a nice thin layer. You don't want to get too cakey with this because it will look cakey and bad, if that makes sense. Nice and thin application. Put your makeup over top. Now, you can use a liquid foundation. I mean, if you only use liquid foundation, put it over top. It works just fine. It doesn't separate. It doesn't interact with it. Just really make sure that the Milk of Magnesia is dry first. I just prefer powder foundation because I think that that's better for people with oily skin. I find that I get enough coverage. If I have trouble spots, I just add a little bit of additional powder foundation in those areas, and it's fine. It covers it up, and the mineral foundation helps to absorb any excess oil that may come through during the day. So I have just had incredible luck with this. It hasn't ever made me break out. It keeps my makeup on all day long. It's easy to apply. It is super inexpensive. You're going to pay probably $4.50 for a bottle like this, and this will literally last you eons. Like, if you're just using it during the summertime, you'll probably end up throwing it away by the time next summer comes around because the formula will get kind of too thick. So this is my bottle from last summer, and it has definitely thickened up. It's still usable, but when you first get the Milk of Magnesia, know that it's going to be a little bit more runny than what you saw in the palm of my hand. So don't just like go pouring it out. Like, be a little bit careful. But just don't overdo it. Spread it out evenly. Get rid of any like white spots by just sort of brushing them away with your hands, and you'll be good to go. This really truly works so well, better than anything that I have ever used in the past, and I have used a lot of makeup primers. This is flawless for me all day long. So if you have any questions that I happen to not answer during this video, definitely leave them down below. Thank you guys so much for watching and for being patient with me during my busy time of the year. I hope that everybody is having a fantastic week, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.